Avispa. This is the ESEE School of Survival training knife. Let's go ahead and check it out. So it does have this very nice wasp over here, and it is made in Taiwan. This is how it actually looks like over here. It's all the blackout edition. One thing that really surprised me is how big this thing actually is. It is very nice looking. I like this, like a parrot and skull right on here. And it is a long knife. It is a pretty big knife as well. For the price that you're paying for it, it is exceptionally cheap. 43 maybe to 50 bucks. It depends where you're getting it from. The knife is pretty sharp. It is not the sharpest of knives that I handled, but it is very sharp. Over here, if you want to open and close, it has a lock bar over here. You can just move it in. It's easy to move it, unlike some other ones. Unfortunately, this thing is not this strong. You see, it is part of the actual part of the knife right here. It is part of the whole entire mechanism from the side, which makes it more likely to break over time than one gonna be right on the inside and nothing on the side. So this is what makes this thing exceptionally cheap, is just the mechanism that it's built like for opening and closing. So be careful with that, because over time I think it's gonna get degraded right here. And this is actually the weakest spot of this entire knife right there. Now, in case you want to move this around, there is 4 different locations you can move this around. You can also put right here something in case you want to decorate it or anything. And it has a lot of screws that you can open and close in case you need to fix and make it more or less tight. This one right out of the box, it's good. It is aligned over here. You can see it's pretty thin on all together. To open it up, you just put your finger right here, and there is slight resistance to opening it, really slight. One thing I dislike about this is the opening. It's pretty hard to open it, and I'm constantly thinking that I'm going to open it incorrectly. As I open this, you can easily scrape your hand using one finger, and I will show you what I mean here. So I'm opening it. If you open it like this, it is fine. If you open it a little bit like this, it's not. So let me show you again. So opening it correctly, it's fine. But if you open it incorrectly, you use more force, you can accidentally slice your finger as you open it. So I'm careful with it. Hypothetically, it could happen. Can it actually happen? That's a different question. But I don't like it. I have not had too many knives where I had this occurrence, if any at all. It just seems much harder to open. If you put your finger right here and you open it up, it's going to open fine. So that's one thing I dislike about this. It's maybe just the way I open this, because I have not had to deal with a knife like this before. This company, this cheapness of a knife, that is. I usually do more expensive knives. This one, the material, the blade is fine. The blade, I don't have a problem much with the blade itself. It is made in Taiwan. It is pretty good quality. On the other hand, this handle of this is just not my style. So what do we get here that I dislike and I like is pretty much four stuff. Well, let's go back to this one. Avispa, I like this. The hornet right on here, it looks kind of cool and neat. But what I don't like is just the material, the cheapness of this whole thing. And that it doesn't. Every style of this knife has the same identical issue with it. Is that one side is really nice. You have something that you're buying it for. And the other side is just gone. There is no, whatever this fiber carbon look over here, there is nothing in here on the other side. There is just nothing in there at all. which makes it, this is just plain ugly, and this is kind of cool, and both sides just make it not the same. And for me, this is just, it doesn't look good. And the knife has to look good. One part of the fun thing about having a knife is to make it look good. Oh, top and off, new thing, of course, is what just happened to me right here. So another thing, I can't believe this. This is why I hate cheap knives, by the way. This thing is just too cheap for my taste and functionality too. So as I opened this just a second ago, what happened was something I never had happened before. So my finger right here, you see, right now, this metal thing right here got my finger stuck in it for a second, and it was just painful. Now, why is this happening with this knife? Another design flaw. This knife is just full of design flaws. It's just whoever made this was not thinking. You see this right here, there was no reason whatsoever to have this curve. None. It should be straight. It would never have happened. See, as you move it up, see, this becomes from slightly bigger to slightly small. That's where you can stick your finger accidentally, and it's gonna just hurt. It's not gonna get your body or anything, but why would you even do this is beyond me. There was no reason why. And opening it up and closing, there's only one way to open it. Just like that. There's of course the other way to open it, the normal way everybody opens is this way, right there. But the real way you're supposed to do it is just put your finger right here and use one hand opening. And this is where this knife just fails at all. Like you're trying you're trying to do this, but you're trying to use a lot of force to do this. And when you use a lot of force to try to do something, it's always fires back at you. It always does. So altogether, that's not good. Now the grip is fine. It is not a good grip. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't. And why? It's because of, first of all, this is in the way. You feel it cutting into your finger, just the way it's over here and here. This right here too. And I'm not expecting perfection for something this cheap, but there's so many cutting corners on this that they could have designed a way better knife by making a few small changes to it. If you're okay with every single thing I just mentioned, this would be a good budget knife. Other than that, you should be extremely more careful with it. And I think it is worth it for you to pay more money and get something else that's more expensive. That being said, if you need something cheap that you don't care about losing, and it is quality company, and you need this for camping site, hunting, or whatever you need this for, even survival as an extra knife, yeah, this will be okay. It will do its job, giving you understand the limitations and the problems we got with this. I hate fixed blade knives. Like, I hate the ones that are not surrogate. I like the surrogate ones more than the straight edge ones. This one is straight edge. And the good thing is this is not fixed blade, but it's a good decent knife, in my opinion. But I would not be buying something like this again. And let me know below what you think. Are you gonna get one of those? What do you think of this? And was I feeling justified in how I told you about this specific knife? It does also feel exceptionally cheap in your hand. It doesn't feel too cheap. I would say for $40, yes, it feels like a $40 knife. No more, no less. Let me know below your comments and thoughts on this.